If you are one who loves the game of chess and have been looking for a nice chess clock, either for tournament play or just for practicing and leveling up your skills, this brief video is for you. Also, if you have been looking for some reviews and testimonials from actual customers that have purchased and used the featured chess clock, if you have been looking for actual ratings and more, this brief video is for you as well. This brief video will be a brief review of the featured Leap Chess Clock Digital Chess Timer. There are links provided at the bottom, in the description of this featured video, that will take you to the official page that you see on your screen here. If at any time, you would like to visit the official page that you see on your screen for yourself and take a look at the information more in depth, or if you would just like to follow along with us on your own, all that you have to do is just click on the links provided below, to be taken to the official page, for the featured Leap Chess Clock Digital Chess Timer. Now, there is much information on the page that you see on your screen. In this brief video, we will go over and touch on the points and portions of the page that we feel will be of most interest to you. One thing to note here, is that the information that you are seeing here, is what is current at the recording of this particular video, as far as the number of reviews and testimonials, which may have changed after this particular recording. Remember to click on the links below in the description to see the more updated numbers for yourself. So, one of the main points that we want to briefly go over here, which is, in our opinion, one of the main reasons we always want to do particular reviews on certain chess sets, pieces, clocks, etc., are the current number of reviews and testimonials, and also the ratings from the actual customers who have purchased them. As you can briefly see here, that out of a 5-star rating, the featured digital chess clock and timer currently is getting a 4.5 out of a 5-star rating, which we feel is a pretty nice rating. And as you can briefly see here, that out of what is currently 1,117 actual customers that have rated it, most were satisfied and gave it a 5-star rating. And we feel that you should really look into the ratings for yourself by clicking on the links that are provided below in the description. And what really caught our attention about the featured digital chess clock and timer, is that currently 72% of the customers actually give it a 5-star rating, which we feel is pretty good as well, and is something to consider, and should give you a pretty good idea of how most of the customers feel that it is worth it or not. Please note, that from our research of the actual customer reviews, some of the main things that customers were impressed with, was the ease of the usage. Some said that it took a little time to get used to when using it for the first time and using the manual. Also, what we found to be interesting to us, is that the featured chess clock and timer is actually able to be used for more games than just chess according to some of the testimonials that we have researched as well. Once again, links are provided below in the video description to see more of the actual customer reviews and current ratings for yourself. Just take a look, as we briefly scroll through this portion of the official page here. Remember, the numbers that you see in this particular video may have changed after the recording of the video, as far as the number of reviews and testimonials, ratings, etc. Once again, be sure to click on the links below in the video description to take a more in-depth look at all of the information for yourself. So, in this portion of our brief video, we first want to briefly go over and touch on a few of the details from what the manufacturer has to say about the featured digital chess clock and timer. And as we can briefly see here, it is said to have features that are also said to be professional and classic as well, and is said to provide many ways to play. Also, it is said to have what are called quick start and setup controls as well. Now, as we can briefly see here, the featured chess clock and timer is said to require one AA battery. If we are looking at this correctly, here, it is said to have this included as a gift. This must be true because of the battery image that is shown in the picture. Also, the featured timer and clock is said to be more than a product, and you can briefly take a look at more of the details at this point here as well. Just take a look, as we briefly scroll through this portion of the official page here. So now, what we want to do here, is just briefly show you what the featured digital chess clock looks like here. Just briefly take a look as we briefly scroll through. You can briefly see here also, the container that it is said to come in as well. The size measurements of it, you can also see here as well. Briefly take note of the instructions here as well. One point that we want to briefly touch on, is that there are other videos presented on the official page, such as the one that you see here, and more. Just take a look, as we briefly scroll through this portion of the official page here. Once again, be sure to click on the links below in the video description to take a more in-depth look at all of the information for yourself. So here, as mentioned earlier, there are other videos that are presented on the page for you to see and take a better look at the featured digital chess clock and timer for yourself. Also, in this portion of our brief video here, we don't want to forget what we feel is one of the main points of the page, which is the customer questions and answers portion of the page here. And you can briefly take a look at some of the questions and concerns that customers have, and how these concerns are addressed as well. And also here, you can see that there are some customer reviews that have images and more featured here, in this portion of the page as well. Just briefly take a look here as we briefly scroll through this portion of the official page. Once again, be sure to click on the links below in the video description to take a more in-depth look at all of the information for yourself. Now, make sure that when you get to the official webpage that you see on your screen by clicking on the links below in the video description, that you pay particular attention to all of the information that is presented on the page, to give you a better idea of what the featured digital chess clock and timer may be able to do for you, and how you may be able to benefit from it as well. Also, make sure that you pay particular attention to the current ratings and reviews from actual customers, and you can also click on these to take a more in-depth look at all of them as well, when you get to the official page that you see here on your screen. Once again, we would like to thank you for watching our brief video review. If you have found that the information presented here in this video was helpful and insightful to you, be sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Remember to click on the links below in the video description to go to the official webpage that you have seen on the screen in this video to get more information and see more, if you decide to choose the featured Leap Chess Clock Digital Chess Timer.